Right, on today's video, I'm going to be showing you the rest of my score collection. Now, obviously with me mondo, waxwork and death vaults videos, I told you what artists done it, showed you the pressings and stuff, and I think boutique labels seem to put a bit more care into their releases, so that's fine for them, whereas the rest of these scores are just a lot more just general releases really. They use like the film artwork and stuff, so there's not really too much to talk about in that respect. So I think I'm just gonna flick through, and if there's anything interesting, then I will show it and say which artist done it and show you the pressing. But most of these are just on black vinyl, general releases, no new artwork. So I just don't think they're worthy of the same format of video as the waxwork and mondo stuff. Still some great scores in there, obviously. So I'll just flick through it and talk a little bit about the score. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm just going to do it like this, just flick through, because like I say, a lot of these releases are just general releases. But I'm starting off with an absolute bang. Mark Fox, the Shock and Truth documentary. He done an absolutely incredible job with that, and that's the actual, the first pressing of it. That one was put out by Scareflare, and Ghoulish Gary done the artwork, and it's really nice, man. Really nice release. So yeah, it's the closest we're going to get to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre score, so I'll take it, man. I'll take it all day. The Candyman score by Philip Glass is one of the greatest horror scores ever made. It's stunning. Absolutely incredible. There we go. Evil Dead 2013. This masterpiece. It's probably one of my favourite Evil Dead films, to be fair. I proper love Evil Dead 2013. You've got The Witch by Mark Corbin. Stunning score. Incredible film. It's my favourite Robert Eggers film. My favourite A24 film. Yeah, man. Just an absolute masterpiece. Midsummer, which is my second favourite A24 film. Ari Aster, not so much of a fan of. Well, actually, no, actually, that's a lie. I do really like Ari Aster. I just hated Beau Was Afraid. I thought that was nonsense. The Lighthouse. Again, I just picked that up because that was a Robert Eggers film, and I just presume I'm going to like everything he does. I did like The Lighthouse, but I don't listen to the score too much. Willem Dafoe's incredible in that, and Pattinson is as well. The Northman's a different story, though. Absolutely incredible release. The score's unbelievable, and I love the film personally. Like, I can't wait to see Nosferatu because Robert Eggers is unbelievable. The Wicker Man, easily the best folk horror film ever made. One of my favourite horror films, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, but it says performed by Magnet. I'm pretty sure Paul Giovanni made up the band name Magnet just to put it out for this album. I don't think Magnet are a real band. I think Magnet are just Paul Giovanni, and he put it out under the name of Magnet. I could be wrong with that though, to be fair. Halloween 2018, The Expanded by Sacred Bones. Now, looking back at the trilogy as a whole, I think the only good thing to come out of it really, actually there's two things. The way Myers looks is great, and we got new Halloween scores from John Carpenter, which Carpenter on Kills, that's Kills there, on Kills and 2018, the scores are incredible. However, Halloween Ends, even the score is dull. Like, I just hated everything about that film, to be honest. It didn't work at all. And it seemed like even Carpenter phoned that in a bit, to be fair. So, yeah, not the best. And then we've got Lost Themes 1. I love the Lost Themes records, to be honest. Carpenter can't really do no wrong, though, can he? Lost Themes 2. And this is my favourite of the Lost Themes album. I think Alive After Death is unbelievable. I listen to that so much. Ugh. Right. John Carpenter Anthology. Now, I picked this up purely because I didn't have any Carpenter records at the time, and I think that's a good starting point as a compilation. Just the movie themes it's got on it are quality, to be fair. In the Mouth of Madness, Assault on Precinct 13. Yeah, man. We've all listened to Anthology. Really like the track selection on Anthology 2. But for some reason, the way that record sounds, I do not like it at all, man. So I'm not going to grab... Well, I don't listen to Anthology 2. I'll probably cave and end up grabbing it for the completionist in me, but it's not my favourite, man. I just don't like the production on it whatsoever. Rick Wakeman, The Burning, absolutely incredible score, like a prog rock score. It's not a slasher score whatsoever, but it's amazing, to be honest. I love The Burning. Tom Savini's best work as well for me. I think The Burning's a masterpiece. This is Silent Night, Deadly Night by Burning Witch Records, which, yeah, man, banger of a release. Sad that Burning Witch have gone, man. This year we lost Burning Witch and Death Waltz, which, that's shit, man. That's proper bad. 35th anniversary of Opera, Dario Argento Opera. Absolutely incredible score. I only picked that up recently as well. I've been meaning to grab that for ages, and I've seen they re-released the 35th anniversary. So yeah, man, I went with that, and it's a banger, man. Such a great score, and the film was boss as well. Suspiria, yeah, man, it's an absolute must. You've got to have in the collection, haven't you? I actually grabbed the Death Waltz version, a mondo or Death Waltz, I'm not sure which one it is, but I grabbed that, and that should be getting delivered today. So yeah, man, proper quality. Demons, again, Claudio Simonetti, absolute masterpiece, mate. I love the Demons score, proper great. This is a sick release, to be honest. This is Tory P. Graham Humphrey's done that artwork, which the artwork is stunning, obviously. It's got Profondo Rosso, Roller, Tenebrae, and Suspiria. So it's only got 4 tracks on it, but I think you can grab that for about a £5, you know, and I mean, that artwork alone's worth a £5 in it. But it goes for really cheap on eBay, and it's pressed on red vinyl. Like, it's definitely worth grabbing, man. It's only got 4 tracks on it, but it's great. It's a good release, man. And then sadly, this is the letdown. And the letdown is because live soundtrack experience. Picked this up. Probably should have just grabbed the Waxwork or Mondo release, whatever it is. And I grabbed that version of it, and I didn't realise it was live, man. And as soon as I put it on, I heard the crowd cheering and my heart sank. I was wounded last. So this is Zombie Flesh Eaters. Graham Humphrey's done the artwork for that. That was the most recent pressing of it, and it's an absolute banger, mate. That artwork by Graham Humphrey's is stunning, and the Flesh Eater score is incredible. So The Descent, absolutely incredible score. Another Burning Witch Records release. Yeah, man, they put out some good stuff before they left. Like, I've got a few Burning Witch Records. This is Spirit of the Way, and I really want to pick up Howl's Moving Castle as well, because both of them scores are absolutely stunning. They're really expensive though, because the Japanese imports, but Spirit of the Way was a must for me. It's an absolutely stunning score. The Dark Knight, I've got to be honest, if I'm putting back, I picked it up obviously because I do like the Nolan trilogy, although The Dark Knight is my least favourite. I think Rises and Begins are both better. I just think Heath Ledger's performance just drags that through, because as a film, it's quite choppy and kind of doesn't flow right, really, when you watch it back, I don't think. But Ledger's performance is incredible, obviously. So I grabbed that. And I've got to say, every time I'm going to listen to Batman, I just throw either The Batman on, because that's an amazing score, or I'll throw Batman 89 by Danny Elfman. So that doesn't actually get listened to too much, to be honest. Tom York's Suspiria, as a piece of music, I think he'd done unbelievable with that. And to be honest, I do like the film, because it's they went the complete opposite direction to Suspiria, which is what a remake should do. Even like Suspiria, Argento is like, it's all about the colour palette and stuff, but like everything's grey in that Suspiria. It's just the complete polar opposite of Suspiria, and I think that's what a remake should be, really. Pieces by Arrow, which the soundtrack's not an amazing, like, but I do really love Pieces as a film. It's an unbelievable slasher. Pumpkinhead, again, I just grabbed that just cause, and it's a bit like a western score, to be honest. It's not my favourite, to be fair. Like, it's not my favourite. Aliens, this is the Record Store Day release, pressed on yellow vinyl, and what a score, mate. Aliens is absolutely incredible, so I was proper happy to see that was getting a Record Store Day release. Record Store Day is not the greatest thing, obviously, but I guess it does help record stores, so yeah, man, but you should just be buying records anyway. Resident Evil 2, I just had a bit of nostalgia for Res Evil, and Res Evil 4 is my favourite game. that's ridiculously overpriced for that release. I'm not sure who puts them out. I just seen number 2, and yeah, man, I wanted the Resident Evil score, and that was there for a decent price. So yeah, man. Bone Tomahawk, absolutely incredible. This is an amazing score and an amazing film. Kurt Russell's unbelievable in that. Yeah, man, I love Bone Tomahawk. The Devil Rides Out, easily the greatest Hammer horror film. It's incredible. The score's great. Look at that front cover, man. That is perfect. So good. Then you've got Drive, absolute modern masterpiece. I love the Drive score, to be honest. Stranger Things Volume 1. I'm not massive on Stranger Things. I did enjoy it. I only got into it during lockdown, to be honest, so it took me a while. I wasn't into it the first few times I tried to watch it, but I got bored enough during lockdown, so I watched it. And yeah, man, the music's great in it, obviously, because it's just 80s synth in it. But I'm not going to go too mad. I might buy Volume 2 of Season 1 just so I've got the whole score of Season 1. But other than that, man, I'm done with Stranger Things. Empire Strikes Back, incredible. Got that Gone with the Wind homage. I think that's Drew Struzan who done that. But yeah, man, absolutely stunning artwork. That Mandalorian picture disc doesn't sound amazing. Doesn't sound the worst for a picture disc. And the Mandalorian Season 1 was some of the greatest TV ever made, to be honest. I think it's kind of lost its way a little bit, but you know what? I still do like Mandalorian. Season 3 was touch and go, but it was good enough, man. It still kept me interested. Hans Zimmer, No Time to Die. Yeah, man, I really like this score. I like Daniel Craig's James Bond films. Muppets Christmas Carol, the greatest Christmas film ever made, and the actual score, because this is mostly soundtrack, which I want them to actually release the score properly, because the score to A Muppet Christmas Carol is actually quite dark, and I just think you get a few little instrumental bits, but it's not even the darker bits, it's like the happier side, so I'd like them to actually fully release the score and not just the soundtrack. Hans Zimmer, The Holiday. The Holiday is an amazing Christmas film. I love it. And Hans Zimmer's music for that is absolutely stunning. So yeah, that was a no-brainer for me. It's one of my favourite Christmas films, and it's one of my favourite scores as well. So yeah, I do love a little rom-com, though, to be fair. Charlie Brown Christmas, that is quintessential Christmas. That's exactly when Christmas starts for me, that when I listen to Charlie Brown, and when I watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And it's the same for the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, pumpkin shaped as well. I'm not massive on shaped vinyl. I think it's a bit gimmicky, but that's a pumpkin shape, man. I had to go with that. And this is literally, I watched this October 1st and I spin that record October 1st, and that's when Halloween starts for me. I love a Charlie Brown special anyway. Night Before Christmas picture disc sounds like absolute shite. One of the worst picture discs I've got. That I need to replace that, to be honest. I can't even listen to it. Wednesday score, got to be honest, I kind of got done with. Well, I didn't get done because it's right there, but I presumed it was a full Danny Elfman score. He only actually does the main titles and the end credits. Everything else is Chris Bacon, and it's kind of like he's trying to replicate Danny Elfman, so some of it's alright, and some of it's like a bad copy. So I don't love the Wednesday score, to be fair, but it's got enough Danny Elfman isms in it to, yeah, I'm happy enough with it. Poltergeist score, absolutely incredible. That's an OG pressing because the Mondo one's just a little bit too rich for me, but I do need to grab it eventually because it's the expanded thing. You get tracks that aren't on this. Yeah, absolutely incredible score. Then Jaws. Now I have got the Mondo, but this was just a placeholder before I grabbed that, and I was going to get rid of it, but for what it sells for, man, that's not worth getting rid of because that cover is iconic, isn't it? Yeah, man, so I'll keep hold of that. John Carpenter's The Fog, absolutely phenomenal, released by Silver Screen Records, and also the second disc has got dialogue throughout it, so if you listen to the second disc, it's the same score, just with dialogue. Oh, another quality scene. Nice. Yeah, it's the same exact score, just with dialogue on it, and the dialogue version is amazing. It starts off with a little campfire and that. It's fantastic, man. So yeah, disc 2 is the only one I listen to, really. I love The Fog. It's one of my favourite Carpenter scores, and one of my favourite Carpenter films as well, to be honest. The Goat Man. This is from a film, but I've never seen the film. But this is from a label called Library of the Occult, and this is a very folky record. I can't remember. I think it was, there's a record page called Vinyl Processing on Instagram, and he had this up, and I messaged him and he was like, well, nah, what's that? I've never heard of that. And he put me onto it, but their stuff goes for, like, it's quite hard to get hold of. And I found this on Discogs for a decent price. So yeah, that was definitely worth picking up. And then that's also another Library of the Occult release. That's not from a film, no, that's just like score type music. And that's amazing as well, Column of Shadow. So yeah, Library of the Occult, man, it's a great label, check them out. And finally for this box anyway, The Hateful Eight. Gotta say, man, this is like quite clearly Tarantino's homage to The Thing, and it even uses music that was meant to be in The Thing by Ennio Morricone that didn't get used. The problem with that record is the dialogue that they put in. It's just heavy, man, because obviously we all know what the dialogue to The Hateful Eight's like. It's dropping M-bombs every 5 seconds, and every single bit of dialogue they've got, it's just that constantly. So it's kind of jolts you a bit when you've got it on in the house. I know it's in the film and that, and yeah, man, I get it. But personally, it wouldn't have been the dialogue I chose to put on it. Like, right, I've got a few other little off-cut releases which I'll show you now, and then that'll be done. And this is just a few little random scores. I've got this by Silver Screen, which is like 4 discs. 2 of them sound absolutely horrific. 2 of them I can get away with listening to. And it's exactly the same with this. I was so excited to have this because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. And the box sets are like literally 600 or 700 quid for each film. It's mad how much they go for. So when I seen that was getting released, I was hyped for that. And that Lord of the Rings one, I think there's 1 disc I can get through because it sounds horrific. And Harry Potter, I've got 2. So Silver Screen released The Fog, and that's a perfect pressing. And I've got no idea what went on with them 2, because them 2 sound like absolute shite. So yeah, that's disappointing, man. Goosebumps, the Jack Black film. I'm not a massive fan of it. I showed it to my daughter. However, the score is by Danny Elfman, and as I've said, I'm quite nostalgic about Danny Elfman. I like Danny Elfman's scores. Yeah, I grew up on it, basically. And even though it's not my favourite Goosebumps representation, it's quite a fun score, man. It's quite like spooky. So yeah, man, that was worth picking up. Spider-Man No Way Home. I do like the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. This was when I was on a bit of a Marvel kick, which I'm kind of off now, especially recently. The shite they're putting out now, mate. Yeah, not a massive fan, but Tom Holland Spider-Man are quite cool, to be honest. And I just wanted 1 score to represent it. I think I've listened to it like once. But yeah, man. This is Assault on Precinct 13 and The Fog. This is the John Carpenter tour records, which they're cool, man. He done a whole line of them. Psycho, easily the worst pressing you will ever hear. I think I paid £2 for it from Flop. It's absolute dog shit, but it's on red vinyl. I've listened to it once and it sounds horrific. But the guy at the counter did tell me that's why it was £2, so I did know what I was getting into. Like Ghost Story. I love Ghost Story. I first heard about Ghost Story when I was listening to a podcast, Forever Midnight. They've got a t-shirt based on that design, which I love that front cover as well. It's so simple, man. That's perfect. But the score to Ghost Story is great as well. And the film's boss, definitely worth checking out if you haven't got it on it. Chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. This is just like sound effects for Halloween. It's a Disneyland record from like the 80s, I think. But yeah, it's just fun, man. It's just like spooky sound effects that you put on Halloween while people are sick or treating. Sick little concept. Proper cool, man. This is The Old Ways. I've got to be honest, the next 3 I grabbed from when Burning Witch were closing down. That was £3. Let Us Pray, which is a really good score. I got for a £5. And this is not a score to a film. This is just a release called Yochai, and it's sick, man. Really good score, but yeah, it's not to a film or whatever. Interstellar. Now this is a newer pickup, and I've only just watched Interstellar and my head fell off. It was phenomenal, and the score was probably one of my favourite Hans Zimmer scores. I've had this on constantly, so I had to grab it, and I got the expanded edition. But yeah, man, this is like 4 discs or whatever. But yeah, I was fully blown away by Interstellar. This is an unbelievable release. Yeah, man, the Gate to Hell trilogy, Volta Horror. These have put out Italian cinema and Italian cinema Volume 2 as well. I need to pick them up. I think it's just like Fabio Frizzi scores to Italian like horror and giallos, but the releases look sick. It's like a full book. It's got 3 records. This is obviously the Gates of Hell trilogy, so it's City of the Living Dead, House by the Cemetery, and The Beyond, which I love all 3 of them. I think it's probably Fulci's best work, to be honest. But yeah, and that artwork as well by Graham Humphreys is just phenomenal. So yeah, get hold of that if you can, because it's a phenomenal release. This is Scream 1 to 4, put out by Verasi Sarabandi, all pressed on red vinyl, and it's sick, man. Such a good release. I've heard people say the pressing sounds terrible. I have not had that issue. Mine sounds perfect, man. So I'm very happy with that. And last up, this is The League of Gentlemen, and I picked this up because it was in the Zavvi sale. I'm a big Steve Pemberton and Reece Shearsmith fan. Also, Graham Humphreys done the artwork for it, so that was just an easy pick up. I've got to be honest though, I prefer it to be Inside Number 9 or even Psychoville. I think Psychoville's incredible, and Inside Number 9's the best thing on TV, in it. Let's be honest. League of Gentlemen, it hasn't really aged that well for me, I don't think. Yeah, it's kind of its time, whereas Psychoville, I think, is an incredible bit of television. I love Psychoville. But Graham Humphreys, Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, and I think it was about a 10 in his Abbey sale, so it was a no-brainer, and it's the Christmas specials, and it's sick, man. Really nice release. But yeah, that's about it, really. Right, so that was the rest of my record score collection. Yeah, man, a lot of them releases is just general releases from big labels, nothing too amazing to get into, so that's why I didn't want to make a long format video on it, but I think it's turned out to be half an hour anyway, so yeah, man, I think I have more releases than I thought, which is usually the case. But yes, there's still some amazing releases in there, don't get me wrong. But yeah, nice one to everyone who's been watching as well, because I massively appreciate everyone who's checking the video out, and I've got to be honest, it's going a little bit better than I thought it would. I thought it'd be a bit slower than this, so yeah, man, I'm really enjoying making it. And let me know in the comments what you want to see, because it's still haven't really decided what the channel is really. It's quite broad. It's got masks, figures, records, talking about films. Like it's quite broad at the minute. So if there's anything specifically you do want to see, just drop in the comments. And yeah, man, I'm game for making videos on it, because as I say, I'm just keeping it quite broad while the channel's finding its feet. But yeah, man, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's watching, because yeah, it's keeping me busy, and I appreciate that people are actually watching. But if you did enjoy that video, like it, subscribe to the channel, share it around. Again, it'd be massively appreciated. And yeah, see you next time. Nice one.